Have you ever laid in bed at night, your heart racing, consumed by a vague worry that something bad might happen? Do past regrets haunt your quiet moments, making it hard to enjoy the present? Maybe you've walked into a room and felt that sting of self-consciousness, or perhaps the uncertainty of future events casts a shadow over your days. Overthinking decisions. Why does it all feel so overwhelming? If any of this sounds familiar, if you've felt any of these emotions even once, then I have something that might just be the answer. Welcome to a transformative journey of understanding and self-discovery. This is a free course, tailored for souls like you and me. Over the next 7 days, we'll unpack these feelings, these anxieties, and learn ways to manage and rise above them. But before we dive in, if you find value in this course, if it touches even a sliver of your heart, I ask for your support. There's a link in the description. Any contribution helps in keeping content like this free for everyone. And if you believe this can help someone you know, please share these videos with friends and family. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. In this 7-part video series, each day unveils a unique layer of understanding anxiety, offering insights and tools to help you navigate the maze of emotions. Here are the title of each day. Day 1, Awareness of Anxiety. Day 2, Accepting the Past. Day 3, Embracing the Future. Day 4, Observing Yourself. Day 5, Taking Action despite anxiety. Day 6, Reinforcing what you learn. Day 7, Cultivating hope and expecting improvement. As we journey together, I'm eager to hear about your progress. Share your stories, your breakthroughs, your moments of clarity in the comment section. Let's create a community of support, understanding, and healing. Are you ready to embark on this voyage towards a more peaceful you? Let's begin this journey hand in hand. Day 1, Awareness of Anxiety. Today we're going to dive into the world of Stoicism. Ever heard of it? It's an ancient philosophy, but you'd be surprised at how much it can help us with the anxieties we face in our modern lives. By the end of our chat today, you'll not only get a good grasp of what Stoicism is all about, but you'll also start spotting those sneaky things that trigger your anxiety. We'll share some cool tools and chats to help you pinpoint those moments when anxiety sneaks up on you. And trust me, understanding is the first step to managing it. Ready to start this journey? Let's go. Introduction to Stoicism. Let's start by hopping into our time machine and traveling back to ancient Greece and Rome. This is where Stoicism began and where some of the greatest minds gave shape to its teachings. First stop, Marcus Aurelius. Now, here was a man who wasn't just a philosopher, he was a Roman emperor. Imagine ruling an empire and still finding time to ponder about life. He wrote down his thoughts, which today we know as meditations, one of his golden nuggets of wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It's all about focusing on what we can control and not getting upset over what we can't. Next up, we have Seneca. This guy wore many hats, from being an advisor to emperors to writing plays. But amidst all this, he always championed the idea of simplicity. He once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How true is that? How many sleepless nights have we spent worrying about things that never even happen? And then there's Epictetus. His story is quite something. From starting life as a slave to becoming a renowned philosopher, he truly embodied Stoic principles. His teachings revolve around the idea that our reactions are more important than the events themselves. Now, while Stoicism has its roots in the West, its essence resonates with wisdom from the East too. Take poets like Hafez and Rumi. Hafez reminds us to embrace the present, saying, "This place where you are right now, God circled on a map for you." And Rumi, with his poetic grace, tells us, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." It's all about finding hope and growth, even in our darkest hours. So, there you have it. Stoicism in a nutshell is about understanding ourselves, focusing on what's in our control, and accepting the rest. As we unravel its layers, you'll discover how these age-old teachings can be your compass in today's chaotic world. Core Stoic beliefs and principles. I want to dive into the heart of Stoicism and explore its core beliefs and principles. Trust me, even though it's an ancient philosophy, its teachings can be real game changers for our modern lives. So, what's Stoicism all about? At its core, Stoicism teaches us how to live a life of virtue and wisdom, focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. First off, let's talk about nature. Stoics believe in living according to nature. But this doesn't just mean trees and rivers. It's about understanding the natural order of things and accepting the way the universe works. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe." It's about being in tune with life and flowing with it, not against it. Next, the idea of control. Stoics draw a clear line between things we can control, like our thoughts and actions, and things we can't, like other people's opinions or the weather. Epictetus put it beautifully when he said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." So instead of getting frustrated about a rainy day, we can choose to enjoy it. Then there's virtue. For Stoics, virtue is the highest good. It's about being the best version of ourselves, striving for wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Seneca, another Stoic heavyweight, once mentioned, "It's not about having, it's about being." It's a simple reminder that our worth isn't about what we own, but who we are. But let's not just stick to the West. Even in the poetic verses from the East, we find echoes of Stoic wisdom. Hafez says, "Stay close to anything that makes you glad you are alive." It's all about cherishing the present moment, a core Stoic principle. And Rumi, his words, "Don't grieve, anything you lose comes round in another form," resonate with the Stoic idea of accepting change and the natural order of things. In essence, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It teaches us to embrace whatever comes our way, to find peace within, and to live a life filled with purpose and meaning. Relevance of Stoicism to modern-day anxieties. Isn't it curious that in an age of technology, comfort and convenience, many of us still grapple with feelings of unease, stress, and anxiety? Today, I want to dive into how Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers us tools to navigate our modern-day emotional storms. Let's start with a foundational Stoic belief. Our emotional disturbances often arise not from external events, but from our judgments about them. Think about it. Two people can face the same situation, like missing a train, but react very differently. One might shrug it off, while the other might feel their whole day is ruined. Epictetus captured this when he said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." It's all about perspective. Now, what about those deep-seated anxieties, those that lurk in the shadows? Seneca, a wise Stoic philosopher, believed that our fears and anxieties often stem from our imagination rather than reality. He pointed out, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. How often have we worried about something only to realize later that it wasn't as bad as we imagined? Marcus Aurelius, an emperor and philosopher, faced wars, plagues, and personal loss. Yet he believed in the power of resilience. He once wrote, "You have the power of your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's a powerful reminder that no matter what life throws at us, we have the inner strength to face it. But Stoicism isn't the only ancient wisdom that speaks to our modern souls. Turning to the East, we find poets like Hafiz and Rumi echoing similar sentiments. Hafiz says, "Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions." Such a poetic way to remind us not to dwell in our fears. And Rumi, with his profound wisdom, tells us, "Do not be satisfied with the stories that come before you. Unfold your own myth." It's an invitation to write our own story, one where we face our anxieties and emerge stronger. In essence, while the world has changed immensely, human emotions remain remarkably consistent. Stoicism, with its focus on inner strength, perspective, and resilience, offers us a compass to navigate our modern anxieties. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, ancient wisdom is just a thought away. How Stoicism views anxiety and its manifestations. In today's fast-paced digital age, rife with endless notifications, expectations, and comparisons, it's no wonder that many of us often feel anxious. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy originating from the serene landscapes of Greece and the bustling streets of Rome could offer solace and understanding to our modern souls? Enter Stoicism, a timeless guide that addresses our deepest anxieties. Understanding anxiety through Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that anxiety, at its core, isn't purely a reaction to external events. Instead, it's our judgments, our internal dialogues about these events that often amplify our distress. Imagine a scenario where you're stuck in traffic. The external event is the traffic jam. The anxiety arises from the internal dialogue. "I'm going to be late. This always happens to me." Or, "Why didn't I leave earlier?" Epictetus, one of the renowned Stoic philosophers, encapsulated this idea when he remarked, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." It's a profound realization. Our power lies not in changing the world around us, but in reframing how we view it. Anxiety's many faces in today's world. Today, anxiety manifests in various forms. The social anxiety from comparing our lives to picture-perfect Instagram feeds. The existential anxiety of finding purpose in a vast universe. Or the daily anxieties of work pressures and personal commitments. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who often penned his Stoic reflections in his journal, understood the universality of human challenges. He wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or "No, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside." Here he echoes a core Stoic belief: our power to discard or transform our anxieties by changing our perceptions. Seneca, another Stoic heavyweight, believed that our imagined worries often dwarf the real ones. He pointed out, "There is nothing so wretched or foolish as to anticipate misfortunes. What madness it is in your expecting evil before it arrives. In essence, why suffer twice, once in imagination and once in reality?" Stoicism's tools for managing anxiety. So, how do we reframe our perceptions and manage our anxieties? Stoicism offers several tools. 1. The dichotomy of control. Recognize what's within our control, our actions, thoughts, and feelings, and what's not, other people's opinions, global events. By focusing on the former and accepting the latter, we can navigate life with more equanimity. 2. Mindful reflection. Taking moments to introspect, perhaps through journaling, can help us understand our triggers and patterns, offering clarity in moments of chaos. 3. View from above. A Stoic exercise where we imagine viewing our lives from a great height, reminding us of the bigger picture and the transient nature of our worries. Stoicism and Eastern wisdom. While Stoicism offers profound insights, it's fascinating to see parallels in Eastern wisdom. Poets like Hafiz and Rumi have, in their verses, touched upon themes that resonate with Stoic teachings. Hafiz, with his lyrical elegance, says, "Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions." It's a gentle nudge, urging us to step out of our self-imposed confines of worry and to embrace a larger, more hopeful perspective. Rumi, in his timeless wisdom, reminds us of the ever-changing dance of life. This too shall pass. Just as seasons change, our anxieties too are transient. As we navigate the intricate maze of modern life, with its unique challenges and anxieties, Stoicism stands as a beacon, illuminating our path. It doesn't promise a life devoid of challenges, but offers a perspective to view them as opportunities for growth. Remember, as Epictetus wisely stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." With Stoicism as our guide, we can learn to react with understanding, grace, and resilience. Stoic practices that combat anxiety. In our ever-evolving world, where the pace of life seems to quicken with each passing day, many of us grapple with the weight of anxiety. But amidst this modern whirlwind, the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers grounding practices that can help us navigate our emotional landscapes with grace and resilience. Understanding the Stoic approach to anxiety. Before we dive into specific practices, it's essential to grasp the Stoic perspective on emotional disturbances. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to external events, rather than the events themselves, are the root cause of our emotional turmoil. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once succinctly put it, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." With this understanding, Stoicism offers practical tools to reshape our judgments and responses. Stoic practices to alleviate anxiety. 1. Dichotomy of control. One of the foundational Stoic practices revolves around distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. Our thoughts, judgments, and actions, those are within our control. External events, like the weather or others' opinions, beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, often reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By internalizing this, we can save ourselves from unnecessary stress and focus our energies where they matter. 2. Negative visualization. It might sound counterintuitive, but sometimes imagining the worst-case scenario can reduce anxiety. By mentally rehearsing potential negative outcomes, we can better prepare for them or realize that our fears are often more daunting than reality. Seneca, in his letters, advised, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" 3. Mindful reflection. Taking moments daily to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and emotions can offer clarity. This practice, often done through journaling, can help us recognize patterns, triggers, and even the fleeting nature of our anxieties. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations stands as a testament to the power of such reflections. 4. Preferential indifference. Stoics teach us that certain things, wealth, fame, even health, are indifferent. It doesn't mean they don't matter, but that they shouldn't disturb our inner peace. By cultivating an attitude of preferential indifference, we can enjoy life's blessings without becoming slaves to them. Echoes of Stoicism in Eastern wisdom. While Stoicism has its roots in the West, it's fascinating to find resonating chords in Eastern poetry. Hafez and Rumi, with their profound verses, touch upon themes that mirror Stoic teachings. In the realm of accepting life's ebbs and flows, Hafez beautifully expresses, "Not all the harps hold the same tune. Not all the eyes possess the same hue. Do not ask the reason why. Sometimes the clouds, but not the sky, are passing by." It's a poetic nod to the Stoic principle of accepting things beyond our control. Rumi, with his vast wisdom, reminds us of our inner strength amidst external chaos. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. This sentiment parallels the Stoic idea that our perceptions and judgments, the ocean within the drop, shape our experience of the world. As the digital age surges forward, bringing with it a unique set of anxieties, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism stands tall, offering us practices to cultivate inner peace. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, we can find a centered space, a calm amidst the storm. And as we navigate the complexities of modern life, we can take solace in the words of Epictetus. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. 2. Recognizing one's anxiety. Self-reflection. Personal experiences with anxiety. Let's embark on a journey of self-reflection, understanding our personal experiences with anxiety and finding solace in ancient wisdom. The landscape of anxiety. Anxiety, in its many forms, is a universal human experience. It's that nagging worry about an upcoming presentation, the unease about a pending decision, or the existential dread that occasionally creeps in on a sleepless night. While it's natural to feel anxious occasionally, recognizing and understanding our anxieties is the first step to managing them. Self-reflection, mapping our anxieties. Taking a deep dive into our own minds might seem daunting, but it's essential. Reflect on the moments you felt anxious. What were the triggers? Was it an external event, or perhaps an internal dialogue? As you contemplate, you might find patterns or recurring themes. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, was an advocate of self-reflection. In his personal notes, which we now know as meditations, he often wrote about his struggles, worries, and efforts to understand himself. He noted, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By recognizing and understanding the nature of our thoughts, especially those that lead to anxiety, we can start to reshape them. Stoic perspectives on anxiety. The Stoics had a deep understanding of human emotions. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, believed that our distress comes not from events, but from our beliefs about those events. He eloquently stated, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." In recognizing our anxieties, it's crucial to differentiate between external events and our internal reactions. We might not have control over external happenings, but we can certainly influence our inner world. Seneca, another revered Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the transient nature of life and the importance of focusing on the present. He said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How many of our anxieties are tied to imagined futures or revisited pasts? Recognizing this can be liberating. Echoes from the East, Hafez and Rumi on anxiety. While the Stoics provide a structured approach to understanding anxiety, the Eastern poets Hafez and Rumi offer lyrical insights. Hafez speaks of the heart's turmoil and the soul's longing. His verse, "I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being," is a gentle reminder that within us lies the strength to overcome our anxieties. Rumi, with his boundless wisdom, often wrote about the inner battles we face. He said, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor." His words remind us to acknowledge our feelings, even anxiety, as temporary guests, neither resisting nor becoming overwhelmed by them. Recognizing one's anxiety is a journey, one of introspection, understanding, and eventually acceptance. Armed with the practical insights of Stoicism and the poetic wisdom of the East, we can navigate our emotional landscapes with greater clarity and grace. Remember, dear listener, as Epictetus wisely mentioned, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In recognizing and understanding our anxieties, we take the first step in reacting with wisdom, compassion, and resilience. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum. Have you ever been gripped by a fear so profound, a worry so deep, that it feels as if a shadow has cast over your entire day? You're not alone. Throughout history, humans have grappled with anxieties. However, ancient Stoics had a fascinating approach to confronting and understanding these fears, an exercise known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Today, let's embark on a journey to explore this practice and see how it can shine a light on our darkest anxieties. Understanding premeditatio malorum. At its core, premeditatio malorum involves visualizing the worst-case scenarios in any situation. By familiarizing ourselves with the worst that can happen, we can mentally prepare ourselves, thereby reducing the impact of potential negative events. It's like a rehearsal for potential adversities, ensuring that if they do occur, we're not taken off guard. Now you might wonder, wouldn't this practice make us more anxious? Paradoxically, it does the opposite. By confronting our fears head-on, we often realize that the reality isn't as daunting as our imagination makes it out to be. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, eloquently described this concept. What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about the things. By premeditating the potential evils, we modify our judgments, grounding them in realism rather than fear. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic practitioner, often applied this technique. He wrote in his Meditations, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." This sentiment captures the essence of premeditatio malorum, facing the future armed with reason and understanding. Seneca, another guiding light of Stoicism, was a strong proponent of this exercise. He stated, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." In other words, by anticipating challenges, we strip them of their power to harm us emotionally. Echoes from the East, Hafez and Rumi. While Stoicism provides a structured approach, the poetic wisdom of Hafez and Rumi offers a lyrical lens to view our anxieties. Hafez, with his deep insights into the human soul, wrote, "Fear is the veil that clouds your heart." His words remind us that fear, left unchecked, obscures the beauty and potential within us. But by confronting and understanding our fears, as in the practice of premeditatio malorum, we can lift this veil. Rumi, Ever the Sage offers a perspective on facing our fears. Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. This sentiment aligns beautifully with premeditatio malorum. Instead of being swayed by external narratives of fear, we must confront our anxieties, understand them, and chart our unique path to bringing it all together. In our modern world, where uncertainties loom large and anxieties often lurk in the shadows, the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum stands as a beacon of hope. By visualizing, understanding, and accepting the worst-case scenarios, we can navigate our lives with a sense of preparedness and calm. As you go about your day, whenever anxiety rears its head, take a moment to practice this ancient technique. Visualize the worst, understand it, and then let it go. More often than not, you'll find that the shadows of fear dissipate, leaving behind clarity and strength. Remember, as Epictetus wisely said, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. With premeditatio malorum, we can find that path to happiness, understanding our fears and emerging stronger. Exercises to identify personal anxiety triggers. In the vast tapestry of human experience, anxiety stands out as a common thread that weaves its way through our lives. While Stoic teachings offer profound insights into understanding and managing anxiety, the practice of meditation brings a tactile, experiential dimension to this understanding. Today we'll explore a guided meditation exercise designed to help us observe our thoughts without judgment, illuminating the triggers that amplify our anxieties. The intersection of Stoicism and meditation. Before diving into the exercise, it's essential to appreciate the profound congruence between Stoic philosophy and the practice of meditation. Stoicism teaches us that our judgments, more than external events, are the source of our emotional responses. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Meditation, in its essence, is the practice of observing our thoughts and judgments without getting swept away by them. Guided meditation. Observing thoughts without judgment. Begin by finding a comfortable sitting position. It could be on a chair, a cushion, or the floor. Ensure your back is straight and your hands rest comfortably on your lap. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, feeling the cool air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then slowly exhale, releasing any tension. As you settle into this moment, remember the words of Epictetus. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Let this idea guide you as you embark on this journey of self-observation. Now, visualize yourself by a serene river. This river represents the flow of your thoughts. Each thought is like a leaf floating on the river's surface. Some leaves or thoughts might be bright and beautiful, others dark and withered. Your only task is to observe each leaf as it floats by, without trying to change it or judge it. As you sit by this river, you might notice thoughts of worry, doubt, or fear. It's natural. Instead of getting entangled in them, gently bring to mind Seneca's words. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Recognize that many of our anxieties stem from our imagined projections of the future. If you find your mind wandering or getting caught in a whirlpool of anxious thoughts, gently bring your attention back to the river, back to the flowing leaves. Each time you do this, you're strengthening your mindfulness muscle. Throughout this meditation, let the wisdom of Rumi infuse your practice. Do not resist the pain. Allow it to be there. Surrender to the groundlessness. It will teach you how to stay steady in the midst of change. This is the heart of meditation, surrendering to the present moment, observing without judgment. After about 20 minutes of silent observation, slowly start to become aware of your surroundings. Feel the surface beneath you, hear the distant sounds, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently open your eyes. Reflections on the meditation. Having completed the meditation, take a moment to reflect. Were there any recurring thoughts or patterns? Did specific thoughts trigger feelings of anxiety? Jotting these down can be illuminating. Remember, knowledge is power. By identifying your anxiety triggers, you're taking the first step in managing them. Hafez, with his profound wisdom, once said, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being." Through practices like meditation, we begin to glimpse this inner light, the strength that can guide us through our darkest hours. In our quest to understand and manage anxiety, the combined wisdom of Stoicism and meditation offers a potent toolkit. By regularly practicing guided meditations like the one we explored, we not only recognize our anxiety triggers, but also cultivate a resilient mind that can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. Journaling activity. Documenting moments of anxiety throughout the week, noting triggers and reactions. Let's embark on a journey to unravel the threads of anxiety through the art of written reflection. The ancient practice of journaling. The act of putting thoughts to paper, of documenting reflections and observations, is as old as civilization itself. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, penned his personal reflections in Meditations, providing insights into his struggles, lessons, and Stoic practices. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By journaling, we can observe the colors of our thoughts, especially those tinted with anxiety, and understand their origins. Journaling activity, mapping the landscape of anxiety. Begin by setting aside a quiet time each day for this exercise. It could be in the early morning hours when the world is still asleep, or late at night when the day's hustle has settled. All you need is a notebook and a pen. Start by documenting any moments of anxiety you experienced throughout the day. It could be a fleeting feeling of unease, a palpable sense of dread, or a full-blown anxiety attack. As you jot down these moments, try to recall the triggers. Was it a comment from a colleague, a looming deadline, or perhaps an unresolved personal issue? Next, note your reactions. Did you retreat into a shell? Maybe you snapped at someone. Or did you resort to a coping mechanism like binge-watching a series or indulging in comfort food? Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once observed, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." As you document your anxieties, you might realize that many of your fears are products of your imagination, magnified by your mind. The wisdom of Hafez and Rumi. As you delve deeper into this journaling practice, let the words of Hafez and Rumi serve as guiding lights. Hafez once mused, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being." In moments of anxiety, when penning down your deepest fears, remember that within you lies an astonishing light. Your journal can be a mirror reflecting this inner brilliance, helping you navigate through the shadows of anxiety. Rumi's wisdom is particularly apt for this exercise. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Each entry in your journal, each documented anxiety, is like a wound. But through these wounds, by understanding and addressing them, light, in the form of clarity and understanding, enters. The benefits of journaling. Over time, as the pages of your journal fill, patterns will emerge. You'll start recognizing recurring triggers, habitual reactions, and perhaps even specific times of the day when your anxiety peaks. This self-awareness is empowering. Epictetus aptly stated, "He who knows himself knows the universe." By understanding your anxieties, you're not just gaining insights into your psyche, but also tapping into universal human emotions. Additionally, the mere act of writing can be therapeutic. By transferring your anxieties from your mind to paper, you're externalizing them, reducing their grip on you. In the quest to understand and manage our anxieties, journaling stands out as a beacon of hope. This simple yet profound practice, enriched by the wisdom of Stoicism and the poetic insights of Hafez and Rumi, can transform our relationship with anxiety. Instead of being overwhelmed by it, we can observe it, understand it, and ultimately find peace. As you continue this journaling journey, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Through journaling, you harness this power, finding strength amidst the chaos and light amidst the darkness. Conclusion and homework and recap of the day's lessons. As the sun sets on our day of exploration into the Stoic realm, let's pause to reflect on the profound lessons we've journeyed through. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has withstood the test of time, provides us with tools to navigate the intricate maze of human emotions, notably anxiety. Today, we delved deep, seeking to understand, recognize, and address our anxieties. A journey back in time, recap of the day's lessons. We began our journey with an introduction to Stoicism, understanding its core beliefs and principles. We discovered how thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus offered wisdom that remains relevant even today. As Aurelius wisely noted, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This sentiment underscored our exploration today, the quest to harness the power of our thoughts. We then dived into the relevance of Stoicism to modern-day anxieties. Stoicism views anxiety not as external events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The words of Epictetus encapsulate this. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Through the lens of Stoicism, we realized that our power lies in recognizing and modifying these judgments. Our introspective journey continued with recognizing our anxieties. We introduced the powerful Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, which helps us face our fears head-on, reducing their emotional grip. As we immerse ourselves in these ancient practices, the words of Rumi resonate deeply. The cure for pain is in the pain. By confronting and understanding our anxieties, we find the path to healing. Lastly, we embarked on a hands-on exercise to identify personal anxiety triggers through journaling. The act of documenting our fears, understanding their triggers, and recognizing our reactions is therapeutic. It's like shining a light into the dark corners of our minds, dispelling the shadows of doubt and worry. As Hafez aptly put it, fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions. Our exploration today was not just about understanding anxiety, but about reclaiming our power over it. Remember, as Epictetus emphasized, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. With the tools of Stoicism, the introspection of meditation, and the clarity of journaling, you're well equipped to face the challenges that lie ahead. As you move forward, let the words of Rumi guide you. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form. Embrace the journey, with all its ups and downs, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Homework: taking the lessons forward. Your journey into the realm of Stoicism doesn't conclude with the end of today's session. It's vital to take these lessons, these insights, and practice them daily. Here's your roadmap for the upcoming week. 1. Embrace premeditatio malorum. Set aside 10-15 minutes each day for this Stoic practice. Visualize challenges, immerse in the experience, and then detach, reminding yourself of Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Conclude with poetic reflections from Hafez or Rumi, allowing their words to soothe and enlighten. Document your observations and feelings in your journal. 2. Daily journaling. Continue to document your daily experiences. Note moments of anxiety, their triggers, and your reactions. Over time, patterns will emerge, granting you insights into your emotional landscape and guiding your path to managing your anxieties. 3. Meditation. Dedicate 10 minutes each day to meditation. Picture the serene river with leaves floating on its surface, each leaf representing a thought. Observe these leaves, these thoughts, without judgment, letting them flow. 4. Stoic reflection. Each night, reflect on a quote from one of the Stoic philosophers. Begin with Seneca's profound words, "All cruelty springs from weakness." Delve deep into its meaning, understanding its relevance to your day and life. 5. Share and grow. Engage in conversations with trusted friends or family members about your reflections and experiences. Sometimes, giving voice to our feelings and thoughts provides clarity, a fresh perspective, and deepens our understanding. Final thoughts. Embracing Stoicism is akin to embarking on a transformative journey. It's a path that leads to understanding, acceptance, and peace. Along the way, the poetic wisdom of Hafez and Rumi, combined with the Stoic teachings of Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, will serve as your guiding stars. As you move forward, remember that each challenge, each moment of anxiety, is an opportunity for growth and enlightenment.